Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto the Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Kṛṣṇāya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namami Damodara Pada Pankajam Karomi Damodara Pujanam Sada Vadami Damodara Nama Nirmalam Smarami Damodara Leela Sundaram. Hare Krishna. So, this is the auspicious month of Kartik, last 3 days as per the Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar. And so let's make the best of it. And today we will take a detour from our regular course and read the prayers or the passing away of Bhishma Dev. So who are the parents of Bhishma Dev? Who knows? Who knows?
Ganga Devi and Shantanu Maharaj.
Shantanu Maharaj, yes. And he took that great vow of remaining celibate. Although being in a Kshatriya king, he said that he will not marry, he will not have children. That was not ordinary. It was extraordinary. And that's why this Bhishma, even the demigod showered flowers. Bhishma means big. It's amazing. Extraordinary. So, just a brief background about Bhishma Dev. He was the grandfather of the Pandavas, Kauravas, Pitamaha. He was very, very kind to Pandavas and the Kauravas, because great souls are Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the great one of the 12 Mahajans. Sambhu Narado Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlada Janaka Bhishma Balir Vaisaki Vayam. Prahlada Janaka Bhishma. So Bhishma Dev comes over there. He was like a one-man army. He could potentially defeat the entire Pandavas. Nothing. I mean, he was one-man army. He could defeat even Parshuram, who defeated the 12 times, the 12 generations of Kshatriyas, could not defeat Bhishma Dev. That was the power of Bhishma Dev. And of course, Bhishma Dev, it was like a tie between when there was a fight between Parshuram, who was his teacher, and the story of Amba and Ambalika comes there. So, in short, he was an extraordinary, great personality, but often it comes that why did he take the side of Kauravas? Why did he not take the side of Dharma? Because Dharma, the great souls, Mahajans are supposed to know Dharma, right? Mahajans, why did he take side of Kauravas then? He was such a great personality. That question comes. Because Kṛṣṇa uses his great devotees like Bhishma to teach that no matter you are Bhishma, no matter you have done studies from Harvard or gone to Brihaspati or gone to Sun God to get your education, or you may be Ganga Putra, but if you take side of a dharma, then you will be lost. So Kṛṣṇa used his devotee like Bhishma. And of course, that's one reason. Another reason, Kṛṣṇa also wanted to experience the arrows, which are like garlands. Those arrows were touching the body of the Lord, but it was like garlands. Kṛṣṇa, the devotee, once wanted to break the vow of the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord said, okay, I'll do it because my devotee wants it. The famous story. So with that background, let's jump into this chapter, which is Canto 1, Chapter 9, The Passing of Bhishma Dev. And so this story is, and especially Bhishma Panchak is going on the last 5 days of Kartik. Today is the third or the middle. Like Arjuna had a change of heart, or before the battle. Exactly same situation Yudhishthira Maharaj had after the battle. He was feeling, hey, alas, so many people have been killed, so many relatives, so much blood has been shed that the whole land has become red. I've been the cause of so many problems and this, and relatives are dead. Basically, same reasons which Arjuna gave. To Arjuna, Krishna guided as a spiritual master. But at this point, Krishna wanted to use or show the glories of his devotee like Bhishma Dev. So even Krishna tried to convince or guide Yudhishthira Maharaj, but still Yudhishthira Maharaj was not so pleased. And the internal reason is Krishna wanted to show the glories of his devotee like Bhishma Dev, even though he's in like such a painful situation, right? Imagine arrows, hundreds of arrows. It is said that there was no, like, talking about 2 fingers, there was no place to put 2 fingers between those arrows. There was no space like that. There were so many arrows. But at that point, he was giving the Bhagavad Dharma to the Kauravas, so the Pandavas, when they came for guidance. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, even though at the deathbed, he was speaking, translating Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So let's see, just a highlight of this chapter. So the Pandavas visit Bhishma Dev on the deathbed. The first few verses talk about it. And then Bhishma Dev welcomes everyone. And not only the Pandavas, but great souls from all over come. Because it is a beauty of whenever Krishna Katha is happening, the message passes on by Facebook or WhatsApp. Okay, they're transcendental Facebook, not. Then Narada and Bhadrashva, Bharadwaj, Parshuram, Vashishta, everyone come and assemble there, along with their disciples, that Bhishma Dev is going to speak. So Bhishma Dev welcomed all of them. Very, very interesting. Even at the deathbed, he has not forgotten the etiquette. He's welcoming everyone. As applicable to time and place. That's very nice. Now he cannot get up and offer Dandavat. He's already he's already is stuck, kind of. The body is stuck. But the heart is what? The kind words and the heart is what any guest would look for. Not we offer water in golden pot or paper pot. So he could not physically welcome, but with sweet words, it is mentioned, and hearty expressions, because everyone sees the heart. Bhishma Dev welcomed, Bhishma Dev pacified the Pandavas by multiple verses, and that you have seen a lot, Mother Kunti has seen a lot, Mother Draupadi has seen a lot, you all have seen a lot. It is certainly the time, and no one can understand the plan of Krishna. This is, even the great philosophers may try to inquire. And then finally, Bhishma Dev glorifies the position of the Lord. And so, should we read the prayers of Bhishma Dev? Yes, I think that will be a good section. So let's read from text number 29. How about that? Okay. Yeah, let's start from 29. Let's see how many verses we can cover today in the assembly of devotees here. Okay. Okay. Let's read maybe from 32 since the time is limited. I think I just gave a brief background that now the final moments, Bhishma Dev's final moments. Let's read the translation of 29, 30, and 31, and then we'll read the prayers from 32. So I'll read the translation. While Bhishma Dev was describing the occupational duties, the sun's course ran into the northern hemisphere. This period is desired by the mystics who die at their will. Well, for a pure devotee, nothing, whatever time that devotee passes away, that becomes auspicious. Because it's for one who is doing bhakti throughout, then naturally Kṛṣṇa will come and take him or her at the time of death. But the sun entering the northern hemisphere generally is auspicious time. Thereupon, that man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields, referring to Bhishma Dev, and protected thousands of men, stopped speaking and, being completely freed from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his eyes wide open, eyes upon the original personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, who stood before him, four-handed, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined. So Bhishma Dev gave a lot of lessons at that point. Of course, Bhagavatam does not mention all of them. Mahabharata has all in detail. He told about the Yuddha Dharma and the Raja Dharma and this Dharma and that Dharma. But ultimately, Kṛṣṇa says Sarvadharman Pariteja, or Bhagavat Dharma. That's the real Dharma. So in this, it is very interesting that Srila Prabhupada is quoting all those verses 8.5 to 15, which basically talk about leaving the body. Antikale cha mameva. So at the time of death, we should focus on Kṛṣṇa. And what does that mean? That means whatever we do throughout our life, we'll focus on that. By pure meditation, looking at Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all the bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendently to the controller of all living beings while quitting his material body. That's Bhishma Dev. Very, very important point. By pure meditation, looking at Sri Kṛṣṇa, he was freed from all material inauspiciousness. Krishna's name, form, qualities, whether thinking about the holy name, thinking about his form, thinking about his katha, thinking about anything related to Kṛṣṇa, one is freed from all inauspiciousness and one is free from all the bodily. Tritapanashnam, we just discussed in the story of this after Gajendra, they're talking about this Samudra Manthan. Tritapanashnam. So that is the Krishna Nashcha Prayeshu Abhadreshu. All the impurities are washed. So let's see who wants to start reading text number 32. Let's start. Anyone wants to read 32, please? Yes, Amsilas Prabhu, you want to start?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam everyone. Text 32. Shri Bhishma Uvacha Iti Mater Upakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukham Upagate Kwachit Vihartum Prakritim Upe Yushi Yadbhava Pravaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhishma Dev said, "Let me now invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending on the material world, although from him only the material world is created. Should I read the purport? Yes. The purport. Before Bhishma Dev was a statesman, the head of the Kuru dynasty, a great general and a leader of Kshatriyas, his mind was strewn over so many subjects, and his thinking, feeling, willing were engaged in different matters. Now, in order to achieve pure transcendental service, he wanted to invest all powers of thinking, feeling, and willing entirely in the Supreme Being, Lord Krishna. He is described herein as the leader of the devotees and all-powerful. Although Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, he himself descends on earth to bestow upon his pure devotees the boon of devotional service. He descends sometimes as Lord Krishna as he is, and sometimes as Lord Chaitanya. Both are leaders of pure devotees. Pure devotees of the Lord have no desire over other than the service of the Lord, and therefore they are called Sattvata. The Lord is the chief amongst such Sattvatas. Bhishma Dev, therefore, had no other desires. Unless one is purified from all sorts of material desires, the Lord does not become one's leader. Desires cannot be wiped out, but they have only to be purified. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself that he gives his instruction from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Such instruction is given not for any material purpose, but only for going back home, back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. For the ordinary man who wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord not only sanctions and becomes a witness of the activities, but he never gives the non-devotees instructions for going back to Godhead. That is the difference in dealing by the Lord with different living beings, both the devotees and the non-devotees. He is the leader of all living beings. As the king of the state rules both prisoners and the free citizens, but his dealings are different in terms of devotees and non-devotees. Non-devotees never care to take any instruction from the Lord, and therefore the Lord is silent in their case. Although he witnesses all their activities and awards them the necessary results, good or bad, the devotees are above this material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. The devotees also know Sri Krishna as the original Narayana, because Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary portion, appeared as Karanodakashayi Vishnu, the original source of all material creation. The Lord also desires the association of his pure devotees, and for them only the Lord descends to the earth and enlivens them. The Lord appears out of his own will. He is not forced by the condition of material nature. He is therefore described here as Vibhu, or the Almighty, and he is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, should I say what I understand, Prabhuji? In this verse, Bhishma Dev is coming back to the main topic of Krishna consciousness. Initially, like Shubhalas Prabhuji already mentioned, he was giving all kinds of instructions to Yudhishthira how to become a good king, etc. But now that the time for him leaving his body has come, he understands the most important aspect is Krishna consciousness. So he wants to turn his consciousness to the Lord himself. So we know consciousness has three aspects: thinking, feeling, and willing. Or mind or the consciousness, we say it interchangeably. But when we are in through Krishna consciousness, we use our thinking, all our feelings, and all our desires to serve the Lord. So, Bhishma Dev, at the right time, we see how a great devotee wants to focus on the Lord while he leaves the body. And Bhishma Dev is wonderfully glorifying the Lord and telling us why he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's present right before his eyes. So how exalted devotee Bhishma Dev is, he's able to leave his body, offering prayers to the Supreme Lord in front of him, and he's glorifying him so well in this verse. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please, if you'd like to add or correct.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhu. I like this point here that he never gives instructions to non-devotees. Well, why he does not give? Is he enemy of non-devotees? No. The next line answers. The non-devotees don't care to take any instruction from the Lord. So if we don't care to receive something, will the person be inclined to give something? Just think about any situation where give and take is happening. Whether it is, a beggar asking you something, but the beggar does not care, then you'll not be inclined. But if the beggar really cares and is grateful, then you will probably give double of than what you maybe had planned, right? If the beggar is really asking genuinely. So this is a time to think how much I care to receive instructions from the Lord. And how does the Lord guide? Through his devotees, through the spiritual master, through the teachers, through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So the Lord will reciprocate according to our eagerness to receive instructions from Vaishnavas, from scriptures, from the spiritual master, etc. So we should be always very, very eager to ask, to receive instructions. Very, very nice purport. So, any other comments, thoughts, questions in this text? Okay. Since number of verses are more, I think we'll just read the verse and the translation now, and maybe discuss a few important lines. So let's read 33. So everyone should be able to get a chance to read as well. So please raise your hands if you want to read. Sudhir Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandatranam, all praise to Sri Prabhupada. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavaranam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dhadha Ne Vapur Alaka Khulavartana Nubhajam Vijaya Sakhe Ratir Astume Anvadya. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on the earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. When devotee sings this in a very different way, I just got reminded of that. Tribhuvanakamanam Kamalavaranam Ravikara Ambaram Dadhani Vapura Alaka Kulavrita Tanambajam Vijaya Sakhera Tera Astume Anavadya. So Vishmadev is glorifying. So for those who joined a little later, we are discussing Canto 1, Chapter 9, since Bhishma Panchak, the prayers of Lord Bhishma on the arrow bed in his final moments. He's thinking, feeling, willing completely of what? Of Tribhuvana Kamanam, the most desirable. What is the most desirable thing in the three worlds? Krishna. He is the. And Tribhuvana Kamanam, Tamala Varanam. So, Tamala tree, Krishna has the complexion of Tamala tree, is the bluish dark complexion. Ravi Kara is the golden color, or Ravi Kara, the sun ray. Ravi is Kara, Tava Kara Kamala, or so Gaura, golden color. Shri Krishna is the intimate friend. Vijaya Sakhir. He is the intimate friend also. Of whom? Of Arjuna. And Rati Astu. Rati means attraction. So may my attraction be reposed. So Bhishmadev is very, very clear. Basically, devotees like to think about the personal form of the Lord, his friends, the color of his skin, the beauty, and his lotus face, the glittering yellow dress or golden dress, and Anavadya, not desiring anything else. So 100% attention at the lotus feet of the Lord, not desiring anything else. May this be the object of Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathaga. Right? May only Lord Jagannath be the object of my vision. I don't want anything else. May I not desire anything fruitive. Anyabilashita shunyam. So the Lord is addressed as Vijaya Sakhi. We have a Vijaya Mataji here. So see, we can relate when we when you write our name somewhere or someone calls us, we can think about Vijaya Sakhi, the friend of Arjuna. That's a way to call the Lord. So, in short, this just shows the meditation on the transcendental body of the Lord. Of whom? Of Bhishma Dev. And we can also follow Mahajanayena Gata Sapanta. Okay, let's read next verse 34. Yes, Jyoti Mataji, want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yudhi Turagarajo Vidhumra Vishwak Kachalulita Shamavari Alankritasye Mamanishita Sarair Vibhidyamana Tvachivilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. Translation. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, and because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, attention to detail is a symptom of love. Here we see it's not just, okay, Krishna, help me. Krishna, I want to focus. Each and every fine detail. Like Mata Yashoda is seeing the baby form of the Lord. But a devotee in chivalrous lust, like Bhishma Dev, is thinking about the arrows in the battlefield now. Partha Sarthi, the chariot driver. Partha is the son of Pritha, referring to Arjuna. Sarthi is the driver of the chariot. So Bhishma Dev is thinking about the beautiful Partha Sarthi form and meditating upon that form. And his hair, his Keshava, his name is Keshava, is flowing beautifully. Yuddhi is his transport into the battlefield, and the horses and the dust all adds to Krishna's beauty. Krishna is unlimited beautiful, but all these things just, they kind of, in the sweat, the hard labor, the beads of sweat. In the material world, we don't say someone is sweaty and beautiful. It doesn't go together. But Krishna, he can be in his sweat, and that sweat becomes Garbhodakshay Sagar. Everything is transcendental because it's Krishna, and Krishna's divine. Everything is divine. And intensified by my wounds. Oh my God. But enjoyed by him. Who enjoys wounds? Anyone enjoys wounds? Anyone wants to, even if a needle pricks us, do we enjoy it or do we feel the pain? But Krishna enjoys wounds. That sounds contradictory. Because it's the love of his devotee. Bhishma Dev's arrows were like the garlands to Krishna. So now a devotee in Dasya Ras would offer garland, a devotee in chivalrous, there are 5 primary rasas: Shantya, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. And then there are 7 secondary rasas: chivalry and Hasya, etc. So chivalry. So Bhishma Dev is a classic example of that. So he likes, he wants. If the match is, if the match, the opponent is not strong, if the opponent is not, then if the hero just comes and kills the opponent in one stroke, then there is no fun in that match, right? But if the opponent also is striking a punch, an arrow, and this, and then the hero falls down, and then the hero gets up, and they're fighting and fighting and fighting, and finally, after many hours or days or many weeks sometimes, then the hero wins. That's a good match, right? So it's all that coming from here, the Supreme Lord. So basically, here Bhishma Dev is relishing the beauty of the Lord. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Sri Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord in relationship of servitorship. Thus, the throwing of sharp arrows on the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worshipper of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. This is from purport as it is. I think it's mentioned here. Yeah, right here. Throwing soft roses. So, of course, we can't imitate that. Okay, I'll also shoot arrows. No, we can't imitate that. Because his body is transcendental. His body is not matter. So he's not pained. He's just reciprocating that rasa. And to bewilder the asuras, Prabhupada also mentions that point, to bewilder the asuras, who are always alert to kill the Lord. And for them, Krishna does these pastimes. Oh, see, Krishna also got blood. See, what's the big deal? Hey, hunter killed Krishna. What's the big deal? He's also ordinary man. So to those asuras or atheistic people, Krishna does these pastimes so they can continue to be in their own fantasies. So Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. So very, very nice. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are shown. It's a long purport, so for those who feel inspired can read more, but for now let's keep moving. Yes. Nikant Prabhu wanted to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 35. sapadi saki vacho nishamya madhye nija parayor balayo ratam nivesha sti thaiva para shainikayur akshana hritavati partha sake ratir mamastu. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. In obedience to the command of his friends, Lord Sri Krishna entered the arena of battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana. And while there he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Nataji. So, this famous verse in Bhagavad Gita, Senayor Bhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapitam Achyute. Who is saying this? Any guesses?
Arjuna.
Arjuna. Oh, driver, kindly take my chariot between the two armies. I want to see. I want to do nirikshan. Who has come? That's what commonly driver is told. Take me to XYZ destination. Take me to my friend's home. Take me to the grocery store. So it shows that how Krishna was ready to become in obedience to the command of his friend. Imagine the Supreme Lord becomes the driver of his devotee. So much love he has. So much. And he entered the battlefield of Kurukshetra like a chariot driver. But and what happened? There he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party, because wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, there is certainly victory. So the opposite party, that means they will be destroyed simply by a glance. But again, Krishna's glance, anyone dying on the battlefield, of course, they get the liberation. And we have discussed there are different types of liberation. But again and again, what is Bhishma Dev doing? Bhishma Dev is saying, let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna, that the one on the battlefield, Parthasarthi. In our ISKCON temple in east of Kailash, the deity's name are Radha Parthasarthi, Shri Radha Parthasarthi Mandir. Very, very big famous temple. Some of you may have been on the east of Kailash, on the hill. So we should always also try to fix our mind on the deed. Savai mana Krishna padar vindayor. That's the perfection. Samadhi siddhi shwara pranidhana. So Prabhupada mentioned the last line, the Lord does not do any wrong in any circumstance. So even he's shortening the lifespan, but that's for good only, because they will go attain liberation after that. Next verse, anyone? Yes, Rakesh Prabhu. Those who want to read can raise their hands. I know maybe.
Yeah, I can read. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Text 36. Vyavahita pratana mukham nirikshya swajana vadhat vimukhasya dosha buddhaya kumatim aharat atma vidyaya yas charanarpati paramasya tasya mestiu. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhuji, can you scroll down? Translation. When Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. Purport?
Hare Krishna. Since the in the interest of the time, there's a special session. We're just doing the words in the translation, because you may not be able to read what we have planned. So we'll pause for the translation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Arjuna was seemingly polluted. A pure devotee can never be polluted, but of course he takes the role of as if he is lost. He didn't know what is right, what is wrong. So seemingly polluted by ignorance, not in the truth, but a transcendental drama going on. Why? For all of us, so we can get that message of Bhagavad Gita. And when he saw all this, he was lost. He lost his bodily composure. He didn't know what to do, what not to do. But what did Kṛṣṇa do? Nashtamoho smrite labdva. Then, after hearing the whole message of Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa eradicated the doubt of ignorance through the lamp of knowledge. And to that Lord, I always want to meditate. So again and again, Bhishma is teaching us that he is thinking of that Supreme Lord, Smaranam, remembering. Not only is remembering in the heart, but the Lord that is present, face to face also. So here is a very good example that a devotee may not be able to go to the Lord, but the Lord goes to a devotee. And to a pure devotee who has rendered service throughout. Don't try to see Kṛṣṇa, try to serve Kṛṣṇa, so Kṛṣṇa wants to see you. It's a very classic example here. Kṛṣṇa went personally, oh, my devotee is leaving, I'll go, I'll be there. And he can come through different ways, through devotees, through holy name, through prasad, through some garlands, through tulsi, through some holy waters. All that is transcendental, if one has the vision to see it. अर्जुन के रथ हम कन्हारे, गीता के उपदेश तुम्हारे, नाम पढ़े ऐसे गिरिधारी, ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरा नाम पढ़े गिरिधारी राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम. There's a nice bhajan also. Any other thoughts, comments? Let's read. Yes, Umesh Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Text 37. So, Nigamam Apaya Mat Pratidnyam Mruta Adhikaritum Apadayukto Rathasya Dhruta Ratha Charano Bhayat Chalat Gura Riva Hantumibam Gato Tarya. Translation by Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Fulfilling my vow and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly. Just as a lion goes to kill an elephant, he even dropped his outer garment on the way. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I want to share that picture with everyone. I'm just doing that right now. So this one, I think most of you may have seen this picture. So this is the meditation. Bhishma Dev, Lord Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna trying to, so what happened in this? Fulfilling my desire. What was Bhishma's desire? Anyone knows? What was Bhishma's desire?
To kill by Kṛṣṇa.
Kṛṣṇa to pick up a weapon.
Yes. Bhishma's desire was that today I'll make Kṛṣṇa break his vow. So what happened, just a little bit in the background. And Duryodhana in party. Yeah, I think this. So he took a vow that the next day Krishna would have to take his weapon. Because Duryodhana was criticizing Bhishma that, hey, you are reluctant to kill Arjuna because you're very kind towards them and you're not fighting to your best ability, etc. And then he said, okay, these 5 arrows. Tomorrow, 5 Pandavas gone. Boom. Right? 5 arrows, 5 Pandavas. The end. Duryodhana was very happy. Duryodhana said, well, let me take these 5 arrows because I don't know if tomorrow your mind changes what to do. And that night Krishna was in anxiety. The Lord gets anxiety for his devotees. Krishna told Arjuna, hey, get up, come on. Jiva Jago, it's time to get up. You know what's going on in the other side. Krishna is a Abhigya Swarat. He knows everything. He is a supreme Kshetragya. Arjuna does not know what's going on in Bhishma's camp, but Krishna knows. He said, this is what has happened. Okay, Krishna, we are surrendered to you. You only help us. Okay. Remember, you helped Duryodhana one time from the Yakshas. Now it's the time. And he told you that you can ask me anything. Now it's the time to ask. Go ask for those 5 arrows. Okay. So be it. Arjuna went to Duryodhana and said, Duryodhana, you remember you told me you'll give me. Can you give me 5 arrows? And this was like, where in the world, who told them about this whole thing? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitirma Tirmama. So this shows that one who accepts Krishna as their friend will not have nothing to lose. Krishna will guide directly, indirectly, through inside, outside, through devotees, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, in so many unimaginable ways. And then, next day, Bhishma said, Duryodhana, 5 arrows, 5 Pandavas, the end. Duryodhana said, sorry, Papa. Sorry, Grandpapa. What happened? Arjuna came. And Bhishma Dev, being the great devotee, knew that who else can do this besides Krishna? Who else could plot all this besides Krishna? He said, Krishna, you because Bhishma Dev had taken a vow, tomorrow I'll kill them. You made me break my vow, I'll make you break your vow. It may seem as tit for tat, but it is a transcendental chivalry rasa. It is the mellow. It is not tit for tat actually. It is a transcendental rasa. And at that point said, okay, today you see what I'll make you do. I'll make you break. You took the vow in the beginning that you will not lift any weapon. Today you see what I'll do. And that Krishna loves it actually. Krishna loves that rasa. As we have discussed, he loves to dance on the tunes of the gopis much more than the big prayers and the verses of Upanishads and the Puranas. So he likes that. He likes to be conquered by his devotees in different ways. So he fought so bravely and was about to, if Krishna would have not done this, and that's what he wanted. As soon as Krishna left it, he just gave up his arrow. That's what I wanted. See? So, and Arjuna was trying to stop, and like a lion rushing to kill an elephant, he, in a hurry, he even just dropped his outer garment, the upper garment, not caring for anything. You dare not touch my devotee. So that's shows, sweet pastime, shows so many different aspects of bhakti. So sweet. Any other thoughts, comments on this? Okay, let's read. Yes, Kashish Mataji.
Text 38. Shitavishikihato vishinadanshaha shataja parirukta atataino me prasavama visasara matartadam sabhavatu me bhagwan gatir mukundaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May He, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield he charged me, as if angry because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered, and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Gatir Mukunda. Gatir comes many, many times, so this is a word we all should know. Gati means destination. Can anyone tell any verse, anything where Gati comes? Anyone?
Durgati.
Durgati. Yeah, I'm looking for some shloka or some prayer or something like some. Yes, but you have to say some line from some verse or something. These are words. These are like good. These are words, but I'm looking for some line or some bhajan. And guess what? If I tell you, then you will say, "Oh, I knew it." Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi Dhyayan stuvam stasya yashastri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Who all know this prayer? Who all know? Everyone should know this. This is like the Mangalarati of ISKCON. So everyone should know this. Nagati kutopi. That person who does not take shelter of the spiritual master. Nagati kutopi. Gatir Prabhu Bharta Sakshi. So many verses are there in Bhagavad Gita where this. Yeah. Ya shastra vidhim utsrijya vartate kamakarata na samsiddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatihi. Right? 1624 Bhagavad Gita. So those who give up scriptures, those who give up spiritual master, nagati. So here, gati is mukunda, topmost destination. Dadami vibhutim gatim. I think we read that there else also. So the point is that a pure devotee is asking as the Krishna as a supreme destination. Let that be my destination. Mukunda, mukti dadati iti mukunda. And we discussed the situation. Krishna was angry, transcendental anger, sharp arrows, wounds, blood. Everything is transcendental. Ishopanishad says Krishna, his body is not like our body made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So everything is transcendental. And of course, to the non-devotees, to those who want to think him as ordinary, to them also, ek tir se do nishani. So they will continue to think Krishna as, oh, Krishna is also ordinary man. See, he was also bleeding in the battlefield. If I, some knife cut, I also bleed. Krishna also bleeding. What's the big deal? So to those, they continue to be in that illusion. Okay, next verse 39. And for those who have read and your hands were raised, so you have to, there's no automatic unraising, so you have to unraise your hand or put it down in lower rotary. And for those who have not read and would like to read, please keep your hands raised. Umesh Prabhu, did you read? Want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I read.
You read?
Yeah.
Okay. Puna Mataji, want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dantas Pranam Prabhupada. Text 39. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Atatotre Trita Yarasmini Tachiyan Tashriyek Si Saniye Bhagavati Ratir Astu Me Mamur Sur Yam Iha Nirikshya Hata Gataha Swarupam. Can you scroll, Professor? Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with a whip in his right hand and a bridle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the beautiful form of the Lord being mentioned in this verse. So what is in the right hand? The whip to run the horses. And the left hand, the bridle or the lagam, ghodo ki lagam. And senses, often it's compared to the horse is compared to the senses, and the bridle is compared to the mind. So the chariot of intelligence holds the senses through the medium of that bridle or that lagam. The reins, also called as reins, in the left hand. So basically, again, shows Krishna's beautiful gesture towards his devotee, Bhakta Vatsala Parthasarthi, his renunciation, his magnanimity, his humility, his going to do any extent. Will a great person, become your driver? Probably not. Okay, they may say big things, but will your, let's say, general manager in the company go to that extent? Will the CEO of the company go to that extent? Not genuinely. But Krishna, to protect his devotees, to do for his friend, for his devotee, he can do anything. So he became a chariot driver. And that's what the object of meditation of Bhishma Dev. So all these are transcendental windows to spiritual world. So just by seeing these pictures, you can just be absorbed in this pastimes. That's what Bhishma Dev is doing. So we are so grateful that to Prabhupada and his disciples for giving us these transcendental windows to spiritual world, which just transports our mind to that place. Any other thoughts, comments? So may I develop Rati. Rati for whom? For Partha Sarthi. Rati Sarthi. Any other? I think someone wants to speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Looking at the picture and reading the verse, I also recall the shloka Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhamanitir Matir Mama. So yes, Prabhuji, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know the verse number?
18.66.
18.66. I need to check. I think it is 66, yes. It's 78. It's the last verse.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Who spoke
18.6 is
this?
Sarvadhara.
Who spoke this verse?
Sanjaya.
Sanjaya. Yes, very nice. The disciple of Vyasadeva, Sanjaya, spoke this verse. Thank you. Okay, let's read next verse. Who has not read and wants to read? Anyone feeling left out today?
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, text 40. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa pranaya nirikshana kalpito rumana kutamuna krutavatya udmadagdha prakriti magana kilayasya gopa vashdya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let my mind fix upon the Lord Shri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, got him mute.
Sorry, Prabhu. Let my mind be fixed upon the Lord Shri Krishna, whose motion and smiles of love attracted the damsel of Vrindavana, the gopis. The damsel intimated the characteristics moment of the Lord after his departure from the rasa dance. Back to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, from the battlefield, Bhishma Dev's meditation is going to be Shri Vrindavan Dham. Krishna's here, Gati is also called as movement. Krishna is called as, movements are called Lalita Gati. His movements are very, very attractive. Right? He doesn't stand straight. Lord Ram stands straight. Krishna stands like Tribhanga Lalita. Right? We say Tribhanga Lalita. So the threefold bended form. The attractive threefold bended. Tribhanga. So his movements are sweet. His everything is sweet. Tribhanga Lalita. And very, very sweet. Very, very loving. And highly glorified. And after the rasa dance, what would the gopis do? They would imitate. They would, in the absence of Krishna, they would imitate his movements, because they would be mad in ecstasy. And that's how. So Bhishma's aspiration to remember the gopis is a prayer to have their mercy also at the last stage of his life. The Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotees are glorified, and therefore Bhishma Dev has not only glorified the acts of Arjuna, his immediate object of attraction, but has also remembered the gopis who were endowed with unrivaled opportunities by remembering and rendering loving service. So very important point here on reading from the purport. Bhishma's aspiration to remember, because the Lord is more satisfied when his pure devotees are glorified. So this Bhishma Dev is glorifying the gopis' love for the Supreme Lord, because that pleases the Lord more. It's not what pleases me, it's what pleases the Lord. Krishna likes to hear the glorification of his devotee. Mad Bhakta Pujyadika. So it's a very important point here. What do you say? Time is 8:50. Should we pause? Or do you want to read 2-3 more verses? There are 3 more verses actually in the Bhishma Dev's prayers, and then Sutta Goswami will speak. So maybe it's holiday time and special time, so we can read those 2-3 verses, 41 and 42 also. And if someone has to sign off, that's fine. Okay, we'll read 2 more verses and then pause. Anyone wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would like to read.
Yes, please.
Text 41. Muni Gana Nripa Varya Sankulentaha Tadati Yudhishthira Rajashwa Esham Arhanam Upapeda Ikshanya Mama Drishi Gochara Esha Avira Atmaha. At the Ratriya Yajna sacrifice performed by Maharaja Yudhishthira, there was the greatest assembly of all the elite men of the world, the royal and learned orders, and in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Vasudhi Mataji. So it's an interesting quality that what is Bhishma Dev doing here? He is doing a lot of smaranam about the activities, forms, qualities, how he was at the battlefield, or how he was there at the Rajasuya Yagya, or how he protected Draupadi, or how he protected the pastimes with the Rajagopis. So in the perverted side, like these days, in the old days we used to have the photo albums, right? And sometimes you may sit with your family and see those photos. Anyone used to do that? I used to do that. You remember? Like some photo albums, and we used to scroll through that and see, oh, this is like my mother would show, okay, these are her marriage pictures, and these are grandfather, and then old photos, and this photo, and this cousin, and that cousin, all. But a pure devotee captures Krishna in the heart and to the camera of the heart and is going through all those in the heart. So we should also first go to these holy places, because there would be a time we'll not be able to go. So at least then we can relish. There will be a time we will be on the deathbed. So we'll be not on the bed of arrows, maybe the bed of hospital. Right? There will be certainly, jatasya dhruva mrityu dhruva janma mritasya cha. Whether it's the hospital bed or the home bed, ultimately one has to pass. And then we can't go to Vrindavan. Then we can't go and dance with devotees. At that time, we can relish these memories, these pastimes, these Vrindavan Dham. Oh, I went to Mayapur Yatra. Oh, it was so sweet. Thousands of devotees were chanting. Oh, I went to Kola Vijayasridhar. Oh, I went to this Jagannath deity. Oh, Simantani Dweep. Oh, we took the boat ride, and then we took bath in the Ganga and the Yamuna. And then mentally we can just remember and remember and remember. So now we must create those experiences. Not just for creating experiences, but of course that's purifying now, and it will help later also. So Bhishma Dev is remembering in his mind, because now he's on the deathbed. So he's remembering all that. In this verse, what is he remembering specifically? He's remembering about the Rajasuya Yagya, where Krishna was given the first honor of worship. But evil people, who was that evil people who opposed this? Anyone knows this?
Shishupal Prabhu.
Shishupal, yes. And that's how Canto 7 starts, if you remember. Shishupal was delivered, and then there was a question. Hey, is Kṛṣṇa partial or impartial? Is it a friend to everyone? How could Shishupal get to deliberation? That's where the time this happened actually. He was praying curse after curse to Supreme Lord. How can, that's the nature of atheistic. He cannot see the Lord being glorified. Why are you not giving me as the honor, of the being worshipped first? I'm great. So at that time, Lord chopped off his head. And of course, that's liberation. So that pastime also happened then. Okay, one last verse for today and we'll pause then. Yes, someone wants to read? Yes.
I can read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Text 42. Tam imam ajam sarira bhajam Radhi distam atma kalpitanam patidacham iva naikadarkam ekam samadhigato smi viduta veda moha. Translation, can you scroll up please? Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Sri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconceptions of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So basically, again and again, what is Vishmadev doing? Meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his body, mind, words, and each and every aspect of Bhishmadev's body is completely thinking about unalloyed Supreme Personality of Godhead. Completely 100% focus, not even a tinge of other desire. Anya Vilashita Shunni. So he's present in everyone's heart, and I have transcended the misconceptions of duality regarding his presence in everyone's heart. And I can meditate fully upon him. So that's the goal of life, to think of Krishna. Satam smartavyo Vishnu, vismartavyo na jatuchit. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the topmost destination. So this basically kind of sums up the prayers of Bhishmadev. So Bhishmadev with his body, mind, speech, sight, completely absorbed 100% in Krishna. His form is Parthasarthi in the battlefield, and he entered into, basically he leaves his body. And then there was a big sound of kettle drums and kings and shout. All the people who were present, the demigods and sages, they're showering flowers from the sky because the great personality like Bhishmadev has passed, and Yudhishthira Maharaj does the final rites, the final rituals for the departed Bhishma, and was momentarily overtaken with grief because, yes, knowing that, okay, it is a transcendental destination, the pure devotee will go for sure, but still devotees are not hard-hearted. There is still that physical separation of the body. That famous verse, the bhajan which is sang at the departure of Vaishnavas, Jayanilo Premadhana by Narottam Das Thakur. So yes, they are all pure devotees, but still there is pain of separation of the physical association, the loss of physical association. So the sages then glorify Krishna again by the hymns and prayers, and then they all go to their respective places. And Maharaj Yudhishthir and Krishna, they come back to Hastinapur from Kurukshetra, and they console Gandhari and Dhritarashtra. That is actually the next chapter. With permission of Dhritarashtra, approval of Krishna, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled for some time. So this is what we read today, this chapter 9, Canto 1. Any closing comments, questions, highlights? Was it okay reading Bhishma Dev's prayers? It's not in detail, but whatever little we could do.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We didn't do anything for Bhishma Panchak, especially for Bhishma leaving his body. So thank you for doing this today.
Thank you. Thank you. Somehow Krishna inspired. Thank you. Shri Bhishma Deva ki jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Radha Damodar ki jai, Shri Srila Damodar ki jai, Shri Kartik Mas ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samagami Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you so much.
But I have to go for the test. They are doing test every day.
Thank you so much.